Another form of troubleshooting you may want to use when it comes to solving problems in Windows 11 is to go ahead and restore Windows to a previous point in time. It's a tool that's actually called System Restore, and the idea is that you can basically restore configuration settings and drivers to a previous point in time when we knew things were working good. So to do this in Windows 11, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to click on Start. And up in the search box I'm going to type in System Restore. And when I do, you'll notice there's an option here to create a restore point. Now, even though we're not necessarily looking to create a restore point, we may be looking to actually do a restoration. This is what we want to select. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that now. And this opens us up into the System Properties on the System Protection tab, and you'll see here it says System Restore. You can undo system changes by reverting your computer to a previous restore point, and you'll notice mine is grayed out. There's a button here and it's grayed out. And the reason why is because under protection settings for my C drive, you'll see here the protection is off. Now, depending on your system, it may already be on or it may be off by default. Mine defaulted to being off. So in order to enable this, we have to go down to this configure button. So I'm going to click on configure. And the first thing I'm going to do is it says that I'm going to turn on system protection. So I'll click the button to say turn it on. The second thing I have to do is go ahead and determine how much disk space I'm willing to tie up for these restore points. Right now it's defaulting to 1% on my machine. That might be a little bit small, so I'm going to up that a little bit, maybe to 5%. Okay, so 5% of my drive I'm willing to use for restore points, alright? And that still leaves me 95% for everything else. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK, and at this point you'll see here that protection settings, the C drive is now on and my System Restore button is now active. Now if I click on that System Restore button, you'll see here that I may get a message saying, well, you don't have any restore points to revert to. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and hit cancel. And the reason I don't have any restore points is because I just turned it on. Alright, if I already had it on every time I had made certain changes to the system, like a big Windows update or something like that, it would go ahead and it would create a restore point. Or another way you can create a restore point is by doing it manually. There's a button down here near the bottom that says Create. So I'm going to click on Create, and I'm going to say Demo Restore Point. And click Create. And it takes just a few moments here, but it is creating that restore point. Okay, so we see that the restore point was created successfully. I will close that. And at this point, if I were to click on the System Restore button, it's going to do something a little different now. Now it's going to say, hey, we can go ahead and we can restore system files and settings. And let me just read this to you. It says it can help fix problems that might be making your computer run slowly or stop responding. It says that it does not affect any of your documents, pictures, or other personal data. Recently installed programs and drivers might be uninstalled though. Okay, so that's something I want you to keep in mind, is that this is a great way to restore configuration settings, but your personal data shouldn't be touched. That said, anytime you do anything like this, and you're going to hear me say this multiple times throughout the course, make sure you do a backup of your data just in case something goes wrong. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Next. And now one of two things would happen depending on your system. If you already had System Restore up and running, and if you had some automatic restore points that were created due to Windows Update and things like that, you might get a window that pops up here that says here's the restore point we recommend for you. And you could choose to take that recommended restore point. Or it would give you the option to choose your own, right? There'd be a button to say or no. I want to go ahead and use a different restore point. And if you click that button, that would then get you to this window where you would get a list of restore points that were available. So here's my demo restore point. And you do have an option here where it says scan for affected programs. I'm not going to do it. It's not going to show us anything right now because I have a clean machine anyway. But if I had, let's say, created a restore point, then installed an application and now I'm reverting to this old restore point, then it would show me that that program would get uninstalled. Okay, that's what the scan for affected programs would do. I'm going to go ahead and click on Next. And it's just saying that you want to confirm that this is what you're going to do. I do want to mention something before I hit finish, and that is one thing that is a common practice. If you're ever going to revert to a restore point as a form of troubleshooting, you may want to create a restore point of where your system is right now before you revert to the old one. So in case that doesn't work, you could then revert back to where you currently are right now. Alright, so all that said, let me go ahead and click on Finish. And it says that once you start, can't be interrupted. Are you sure you want to do this? And I'm going to say, yep, go ahead and do it. And it's now preparing to go ahead and restore the system. Again, this will take a few moments, so feel free to go ahead, and if you're following along, pause the video and then resume when the process is finished. And that's what I'm going to do here as well. See you in a minute. Okay, the process has finished and included a reboot. And I log back in and you'll see I get a message right up on the screen saying that system restore completed successfully. System has been restored. It gives you to the date and time and it says your documents have not been affected. Okay, so that is how you go ahead and do a system restore in an attempt to go ahead and fix a problem that may have been created when you made configuration changes in Windows 11.